This man was so frozen that his whole body turned purple. He reached out his trembling hand to warm under the fire. But he still felt very cold. After that, he opened his mouth to suck the heat from the fire. The woodpile gradually was extinguished. His face was also back to normal. When he turned to leave, the pile of ashes on the ground immediately froze. This man was Sean. At first, he was an ordinary person, because last night, he ran out to pick up the ball from the frozen lake. However, when he left, the ice suddenly broke, and he fell straight into the lake. Meanwhile, the water in the lake was extremely cold. Although he tried to struggle, he couldn't get out. Just like that, he gradually sank to the bottom of the lake. But the next morning, he was still alive. However, his whole body was cold. So he quickly went to the school medical room for a checkup. When seeing the number on thermometer, the doctor also exclaimed in surprise. 30 degrees Fahrenheit is equivalent to 1 degree Celsius. The number was very low. Then the doctor decided to try again. The doctor put his hand on Sean's forehead. Sean immediately grabbed the doctor's hand. This made the doctor creepy because it was too cold. After that, Sean's temperature returned to normal. He felt so much better, and quickly left the school medical room. While getting out, he accidentally met Andy and Jenny. But at this time, he still felt cold and couldn't stand it. He started to tremble. Seeing that, Jenny felt very strange, because the weather was so hot. Sean then went to find his girlfriend. They happily talked to each other. Finally, they decided to meet at home. While the girlfriend was taking a shower, she suddenly heard a noise outside. It was easy to know. Maybe Sean was about to enter. Seeing his beautiful girlfriend taking a bath, Sean suddenly pulled the curtain in the bathroom. This caused his girlfriend to be very scared, because at this time, his whole body was purple. His face was covered with snow. Then he took the shower up and sprayed it on his body. Immediately, many ice cubes fell to the floor. Seeing that, his girlfriend was extremely scared and fell to the floor. She didn't know what he wanted to do. He looked like he wanted to kill her. But unexpectedly, after that, Sean hugged and kissed her. However, the girl instantly froze into ice while Sean returned to normal. After that, Sean released his hand so that his girlfriend fell to the floor. It seemed that this era, finding a lover had to be very careful. But Sean was very comfortable at this time. When he passed by the candles, they were all frozen. However, Sean's girlfriend's heat didn't last long. Sean's whole body was frozen again. Therefore, he started calling all his friends. However, none of his friends cared about him. Suddenly, he saw the phone number in his hand. That was the phone number Jenny wrote him. And then, he made an appointment to meet Jenny. At night, Jenny followed Sean's instructions to the rendezvous. When going to the swimming pool, but she didn't see anyone. At this moment, Sean suddenly appeared at the door. And his whole body was purple. His face was covered with snow. Seeing that, Jenny was extremely scared. Because of her carelessness, she fell off the swimming pool. Sean was so cold that his whole body was purple. He sat on the edge of the pool, and took a deep breath. Unexpectedly, the water in the swimming pool froze into ice. Meanwhile, Jenny tried to swim to the edge of the pool. But her right foot got stuck in the frozen water, and she couldn't pull it out. Luckily, Andy arrived just in time. He directly broke the ice. Seeing that, Sean rushed to stop. But he was immediately knocked out by Andy. It turned out that Andy watched the news on TV, and knew that Sean's girlfriend died. And he also remembered Sean's unusual behavior. So he immediately thought that Jenny was in danger. However, Sean was getting crazier and crazier. He went to school to suck the heat of electrical appliances. This caused the whole school to suddenly lose power. Andy immediately thought Sean had done. So he hurriedly drove over to see the situation. But while on the way, he was attacked by Sean. And he was quickly suck all the heat. Andy turned into an iceberg. At this moment, there was a teacher running over to see the situation. Unexpectedly, Sean had waited here for a long time. Fortunately, Andy woke up in time. He rushed to the school and helped the teacher escape. And he also advised Sean to stop killing innocent people. However, Sean didn't listen at all. Andy was extremely helpless. After that, they rushed in and got into a fight. Sean kept provoking Andy, but he was knocked out by Andy. Andy chased after Sean. Suddenly, he appeared from behind Andy. He pushed Andy to the ground and continued to suck Andy's heat. After that, his face returned to normal. But this time he wasn't so lucky. Seeing the lake, Andy quickly pushed Sean into the lake. After that, the lake water immediately froze. And Sean was frozen down there too. This time, he had no way of getting out. This is a story in the Superman prequel series. Sean had supernatural ability that was a gift from God. However, that superpower had to be used to help people and society. Otherwise it would become a great disaster. Through this movie, we also learned a lesson: be careful when making friends. Don't trust anyone easily. Let's like, share and follow to see the next videos. Goodbye.